Way back there in 1853, a fellow by the name of George Crumb, Native American, chief of the Adirondacks tribe, up there in Saratoga Springs, New York, opened up a summer hotel, called it the Moon Lake House Hotel. Worked the kitchen with his wife, who was a waitress, and one of their first really great guests was Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt. Never liked what he got in his French fries. Always thought his French fries were too thick. They weren't done enough. So one time the chief sliced that potato really thin, cooked it and fried it, put a lot of salt on it, and delivered it in to Commodore Vanderbilt, who loved them. Called them Saratoga chips, which today has become our own hot-selling American potato chips. Potato chips. Well, that's what they were called by the turn of the century, potato chips. And they were usually made in homes. I can remember just before the Depression out there in Prospect Park, the Moats family, they made them by hand in their kitchen and sold them door to door. I've never had potato chips that were as good as those homemade Moats potato chips. It wasn't until 1925, mind you, that we finally opened up a factory up there in Albany, New York, that made potato chips. That's the only reason the factory was there. One of the big problems with potato chips was that before they used to put them in bags blown full of air to protect them, the potato chips had a tendency to get crushed. Well, along came the Procter & Gamble company. That's right, the people that handled soap, and they came up with something called Pringles. Have you ever eaten Pringles? Well, they used to call them potato chips. They're not allowed to call them potato chips anymore. They call them dried potatoes. If you look here on the box, you'll see they're dried potatoes. What they did, they took potato granules, kind of rolled them into balls, maybe made like new potatoes out of them. Sometimes they'd roll them into a cylinder, almost the size of this, then slice them off and fry them so they were always the same size, always crinkled exactly the same way, and they could put them in protective boxes. Well, I guess the next big thing that's happened to potato chips is we're flavoring them now, and it's interesting when you go to England, over there people seem to prefer flavored potato chips instead of plain potato chips. Well, it's a country of ingenuity and imagination. And I know Maurice and Wally are working awfully hard to develop something that they call, can you believe it, string cheese?
How is it coming? Try this, Wally. Wow, that's delicious, really super. Oh, you'll be rich and famous. No, I won't. Oh, yes, you will. It's wonderful. Yum, yum, yummy. But it's not mine. Tough luck, pal. Whose is it? Well, it belongs to the creative folks at Sunny String Cheese Company, right here in the Delaware Valley. That really is yummy over there. You know, in springtime the flowers are blooming. It brings out the ants, worms, and bees. Soon houseflies will begin a-buzzing and pollen dust to help make you sneeze. You stay tuned, because coming up next, Captain Noah has a fly on the ceiling.
Flowers in the garden, tulips and daffodils, and you even did some wonderful bunny rabbits with their Easter eggs. I'm so proud of your talent, and you are genuinely the most talented artists I have ever met, regardless of your age. So that you can see what you've done and what others have done, here's our first picture pan. Send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah. Send today, send right away. Send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah. Your colored pen will do the trick. Send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah. We'll hang them high in the TV sky. Send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah. Be a a purr. Little girl, send your pictures to dear old Captain Noah. Be a joy, little boy. Well, we've drawn flowers aplenty. I thought we'd start to draw cylinders. Cylinders, cans, tubes, jars. You have plenty of models around the house. I happen to brought what we had here today.